Jacksonville State head coach John Gross, the Gamecocks now winners of 7 straight, the longest in the FCS, 21-3 over SEMO, tied for first place in Murray State, up to 7 in the national polls. They're going to host Austin Peay, and that is on Sunday. So, Coach, thoughts about your team, and then we'll go to some questions.
Well, just very proud of the win. It was just a solid team win. Anytime you can, get a win over SEMO, Coach Took them do a great job, and you know what kind of game it's going to be. The week leading up to it, it's always a very physical game between our teams, and I think both squads look forward to that. And it was just a good football game. We were fortunate enough to come up with a win, and made some plays to do that. You usually look at those games and you see turnovers would be the huge difference in the game, but we kind of matched turnovers. I mean, they turned it over one time, we turned it right back to them, and other than that, it was a clean game with turnovers. But I think the biggest thing was defensively, we didn't give up explosive plays. We was able to limit them to no explosive plays, and just played really good defense. And again, just played really good red zone defense, held them to a field goal, and they missed another one. So that game could easily been a one-score game going, down to the wire. So, offensively, I think we continue doing what we've got to do to win games, and protect the ball, be able to, run and throw the ball equally as well. So we're getting better, and I still think we're really close to exploding offensively, and playing like we've played our best offensive game yet. So that's a good thing, because we can continue to improve there and get better. But very proud of our guys. Like I said, just a good win against a solid SEMO team. Coming into the game, I think SEMO could have been very easily undefeated in the league coming into the game, even going back to fall. You look at what they did with Southern Illinois, and Southern Illinois had to kick a field goal to win the game at the end. So I think this league is very, very tough. And me and Coach Took talked about that before the game. You have some years where you win those close games, and this is a year for them where they're coming up on the short end of the stick on these close games. But they definitely have had capability of winning every game coming into our game. So very good football team. And then moving forward, you go into Austin Peay week. Thank goodness this is at home again, and we get to play in front of a home crowd. And I think they may be the most talented team in the league. So I think they got everything you want on offense, from the skill position, from running backs and receivers. Defensively, they're solid. Up front seven's really good. The back end's really good. So and they're doing a good job of coaching those guys. So we'll have a work cut out for us, and we just got to put this one behind us, and look forward to playing at home again this week against a solid Austin Peay team, another team that could very easily be undefeated as well. So they're playing good football right now.
I want to ask you first. I heard what you said yesterday in your press conference about just it was a nice day for football. The fans, there were students. Can you talk about, maybe it hasn't been normal to this point of any part of the year, but did that maybe feel the most normal of any game you've played in 2020, 21?
Probably so. It was a beautiful day, and then our fans were really good. Now we're still limited seating and stuff like that. So, but for our students to show up on a spring break, I mean, how many times you play in, football during spring break? It's kind of like a Thanksgiving break when you get into playoffs in the fall. So that's the only thing I can kind of compare it to. But I was really proud of our students, showing up, being at the front end of their spring break. And then we got another one. Hopefully they'll all come back, and more will come back this weekend at the end of spring break. So I don't think you dream that up when you talk about spring football, being an issue. But it wasn't an issue. I think the crowd was great, and we usually average 18 to 20,000. So we're nowhere near that, but it's probably as good as it's been during this pandemic.
You talked about your offense and getting close to maybe breaking out, is I think the term you used. It appears that your team has found different ways to win. You fell behind and you came back against Martin. You scored 38 against TSU. This week was more of a defensive grind, and at 21-3. Would you say that's accurate, that your team can win in different ways?
I think so. I mean, I think we can score more points than what we're scoring. And like I said, offensively is an execution, deal always. That's for everybody. And you're always a block away here or there, and you got to get 11 guys doing what they're supposed to do on every play, and you got a chance to hit a big play. And we're one block away here or there to being producing more explosive plays, and then finishing drives. It's when you get in the red zone, not having to kick field goals and things like that. So we played against a really solid defensive team this past week, and I thought, I hate to say we're a little conservative in the second half, but we were. I mean, I think you call the game that way when your defense is playing as well as ours is playing right now. You don't have to do extraordinary things offensively to be able to win games. So, we're going to be smart in how we approach the game, and always want to score when we got the ball. But I think if we can end drives with a kick, that's advantage Gamecocks.
So you and Austin P are 1-2 in scoring offense, 1-2 in total offense, 1-2 in rushing offense. I guess maybe talk a little bit about their offense. They played in the fall, but that offense is totally different now. They have the freshman quarterback playing. Any thoughts too on their offense, and I guess specifically what he's done for them?
Yeah, definitely got a new quarterback and a new staff, so it's a different scheme. And I'm glad we didn't have to play them early because you didn't know much about what they were going to be like. So we got several game tapes on them and getting into breaking them down. They do a really nice job, I think, in all three phases of the game. So they're a fundamentally sound, schematically team. And a talented team. So we got a work cut out for us. But I think the freshman quarterback is really playing well, and he made a lot of mistakes, I think, early in some games, and especially in that first game against Tech. And I think he's gotten better since then. But he's a dynamic guy that's dual threat type guy. He throws the ball really well, but he can run it as well. So that poses some problems. So, we got and they produce explosive plays. So I think that's one of the things we got to continue to do is find ways to limit their explosive plays. Hopefully we'll be able to do that this week and just limit those explosive plays, create some turnovers, and then protect the ball ourselves offensively.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time this morning. Best of luck on Sunday, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it now.